Okay, thank you. My apologies. Yesterday we were supposed to do this presser, but because it was a busy bunga day, it was not possible. Mine is just to set a few things straight concerning my legislative proposal of the Constitution of Kenya Amendment Bill 2024. I know it has generated a lot of attention across the country, and I'm happy that it's forming part of the discourse that we are having in media commentaries and even in social places and many other places, even in bedrooms among Kenyans. Number two is that I want to inform the country that I appeared a fortnight ago before the Senate Justice, Legal Affairs and Human Rights Committee, the JLAC of the Senate. I have tabled my bill and I'm waiting for the committee's report before proceeding ahead and going for second reading and debate. And therefore the statement is to demystify the legislative proposal on my bill, Constitution of Kenya Amendment Bill 2024. During the course of the National Dialogue Committee at the Bomas of Kenya, I expressed and sought an opportunity to table my proposals before the Committee on Constitutional Amendment on various articles. However, I did not get a chance to present my proposal. After the NADCO report was tabled in Parliament and going through it, I saw it necessary to supplement and spice it up, ice it up, and further by introducing the Constitution of Kenya Amendment Bill 2024, which was published at the Senate, which will assist in curing political impasse that is witnessed after every general election, among other issues. I hereby wish to demystify my constitutional amendment proposals and miscommunication that have arisen from my bill as follows. One, that my constitutional amendment proposal is very different from the NADCO reports. Number two, totally different. They are not like CMS twins. And therefore I wanted to put it on record that it is totally different from what NADCO is proposing. I'm proposing different thing. In fact, the best to describe is that call it complementarity. I'm just complementing what the NADCO is doing, but it's totally different. Number two, the public will get a chance to interrogate and air their views on constitutional amendment during the public participation as per Article 118 of the Constitution of Kenya. So I have seen media commentaries, discourse in public domains that it is a proposal I'm making before Kenyans. Kenyans will have opportunity to interrogate and enrich and critique and even amend this proposal of the amendment that I'm giving it. Number two, both houses of parliament shall get time to deliberate on the bill and will later adopt, amend, or reject. And this is a private member's bill. As a lawmaker, our business is to do the law as per the Constitution. I've had assertions that I am a member of the ruling party, United Democratic Alliance, and also a member of Kenya Kwanza team. Many people have assumed that I'm doing it on behalf of my party or any other interest. I'm not. One, you have to appreciate, one, I don't sit in House leadership. So I'm not doing it because I'm a part of the House leadership. Number two, I don't even chair a committee in Parliament. Number three, I don't sit in National Governing Council of the party or any level, rank and file of the party, side that will bring a perception that I'm doing it on behalf of any interest or of even the party or even the House. And therefore, that's what I wanted to correct. This I'm doing it as a Nandi senator and as a lawmaker or legislator of the Republic of Kenya. I wish also to dissect my Constitution of Kenya Amendment Bill 2024 as I have proposed that seek to amend the Constitution to increase the term limits for the President, members of Parliament, governors, and members of County Assembly from the current 5 years to 7 years. Of course, with the President and Governor having a term limit of 7 years each, cumulatively coming to 14 years. And I think what I can say at this point, the rationale is that every year before election, we normally lose 1 year doing campaign, going on campaign. And you have seen even here in Parliament, during election hearing here, you don't see anything. It's, in fact, government almost comes to an halt, because that year is when people are campaigning, people are resigning. You are aware most of the civil servants and other from both private and public sector are resigning to go and contest. Therefore, it will affect service delivery. So we lose 1 year. Immediately after election, we also lose 1 year by settling in appointments, the organization of government, even at the county level and at the executive level of the national. So you lose 2 years. So there are only 3 years to do the job. But now if increased to 7, the 2 years that will be lost will be recovered with the 5 years. So we will still have 5 years where you can do proper delivery. And you know, some of the development and service delivery are effective within that 5 years. And there are many countries that have done, like Rwanda, Cameroon. And you know, there is a misnomer in this country that what Americans or Europeans do is good for Africa. We need homegrown solutions. There is a perception that this issue of 5 years or 4 years was borrowed from another democracy. The Kenyan democracy and African democracy is quite totally different. We must have our own way of handling our own democracy without losing the essence of what democracy is. And therefore, we are in good company of many other democracies across the world. So I wanted to clarify that. And when we will amend, it can either benefit who are current office holders or benefit even in posterity, because the way Constitutional 2010 was done. Number 2, we are proposing to give veto powers to Senate to enable them to vet cabinet secretaries, attorney general, auditor general, police inspector, inspector general of police, chief justice, and judges. The National Assembly, we have left them with a lot of work, and apart from doing bicameral on the issue of budgetary process, we are giving them opportunity to vet ambassadors, high commissioners, and other consulates across the country that Kenya has. We are proposing, and this is a good thing for counties, and also increase machine learning development. We are proposing an increased county funds from 15% to 40% of latest audited national revenue to improve and ensure. You are aware counties are grappling with a lot of challenges, especially in terms of funding and ensuring the development. And the only way to grow this country and develop this country is giving more resources to the people at Mashinani so that they can develop the ICD centers, dispensaries, feeder roads, and ensure the service delivery. I am aware there is a small challenge of where we have devolved corruption. And I'm happy I saw a number of governors are lined up to be arrested for misappropriation of funds, and a number of them have been arrested. We hope EACC will move its speed and ensure anybody who misappropriates funds that has been devolved at county must be held accountable, arrested, investigated, and possible prosecution, and possible being incarcerated. Number 4, the impeachment of governors and deputy governors to be challenged at the Supreme Court to make a determination within 30 days. The issue is, you remember the Cherargei case where and even Wambora case, where the governor stayed with court orders for 5 years in office. We want this to be end just the way presidential election determination is done within 30 days, also for stability of that specific county, so that when an impeachment is done at the Senate, somebody goes to court to challenge, it is only done at Supreme Court, which is the apex, because the Senate and Parliament enjoys the status of High Court. So it should now move to Supreme Court, be determined within 30 days, so that we don't disrupt the running of that county and also the flow of disbursement of funds that goes to that county. Number 5, and the last, of course, I just made highlights of this bill for purposes of ease of understanding, and I'm happy media have been a great partner in terms of dispensing this agenda. And then that both houses of Parliament to approve deployment of Kenya Defense Forces. As you are aware, it's only National Assembly that has been given, but deployment of KDF should be done by Parliament. And you know, Parliament under Article 93 has been defined to be Senate and National Assembly. So we are proposing that before KDF is deployed, when the National Executive wants approval, it should be done because security is a cross-cutting issue. It's a shared function. Why is it perception that it's a national function? Security has both software and hardware, and you need counties. Because even if you are to, there are many counties which are bordering other countries. So does it mean if Busia, which is bordering Uganda, for example, is a county? it must be part of the issue of security and shared responsibility. And therefore, I want to assure the country we amend Article 93 says what Parliament is. And finally, I have seen Kenyans in social media, and even in media, very senior people, people who have gone to school, they have been questioning, why is Cherargei proposing this bill? What has he done for the local Mwananchi? And I want to put the record straight, and I want to ask media with a lot of humility, kindly be covering also what we do here, so that Kenyans do know the way you are covering this constitutional amendment bill. Of course, today you can cover this constitutional amendment bill, put it at the headline, but also be ensuring that you cover what we do. For example, myself, as the Senator of Nandi, I have proposed Prevention of Livestock and Produce Theft Bill number 12 of 2023 that will assist in fighting of cattle rustling and banditry. And may the souls of our CDF Ogola and soldiers who died while they were trying to bring peace in North Rift. That bill has been passed by Senate. It is now going to National Assembly. I have proposed it as the Senator of Nandi. Number 2, in collaboration with the Mheshimiwa Raim Dahoud, we are proposing Cancer Prevention and Control Amendment number 45 of 2022. This Cancer Prevention and Control Amendment will ensure the treatment of cancer is done by the government, so that Kenyans do not use a lot of money going to India to seek treatment for cancer. And all of us as Kenyans agree that treating cancer is very expensive. I have proposed as the co-sponsor. So Kenyans have been asking, why is Cherargei proposing a constitutional amendment on issues of term limits? What has he been doing for ordinary Kenyans? So this one is also a number 2. There is a motion on anti-doping that has been adopted by Senate. I am the one who sponsored it. It was adopted by the Senate. In the fight against doping by our sportsmen and women in the country, it has been adopted. And we are waiting for other sectors to play. The issue of former councillors, Gracia, I co-sponsored in the last session. It is now with the National Treasury. We are waiting for implementation of the same. Finally, the issue of County Governments Amendment Bill, it has been passed by the Senate. It's now going to the National Assembly. It is to enrich devolution laws. And this County Amendments Bill is to assist in the threshold of removal of county executives and also removal of senior government officials within the county setup. So, and a number of statements and motions that we continue, that I have done in the floor of the House. So I want to correct the misnomer that is going around that Nandi Senator is proposing only laws that favor a certain section of the society. But I've been doing a lot behind the scenes. And I want to request that going into the future, we ensure that media has been a great partner. Let us highlight what members of parliament are doing daily. We do a lot of work that goes into the support of the development of this country. So mimi sitaki kusema kuzidi hapo. Nataka niseme ya kwamba hii sheria ni sheria ambaye tunatakana kurekebisha katiba ya Kenya. Na watu wengi wameuliza kama hizi vitu ama hizi amendments zinaleta sitahitaji mambo ya referendum. Ikifika wakati hiyo, unajua kuna mbinu mbili ya kuenda referendum. Kuna legislative ambaye bunge inaweza it is called parliamentary amendment of the constitution, pia iko hapa, na pia kuna the popular initiative ambaye katiba imetoa. Ikifika wakati hiyo, tukishamaliza hapa na sisi tutahitaji kwenda pale referendum, sisi mimi mwenyewe tutakuwa hapo mbele tukiwaambia Wakenya vile hiyo referendum itafanyika. Hata hii NADCO lazima itaenda kama katika referendum. So saa ile NADCO wanaenda, mimi pia nitakuwa hapo, ndio wakiuza pale, tunauza pia ile sera ambayo tunataka Wakenya wabadilishe. Na wakati tulipitisha hii katiba, tulikuwa tumeambiwa 80% ni mzuri, 20% ni mbaya. So hiyo 20% ndio tunajaribu kushughulikia, ndio hii katiba ikuwe sawa sawa. Na nataka niwaambie Wakenya, katiba si kama Biblia ama Quran. Katiba ni sheria ambayo inaweza badilishwa kulingana na mahitaji ya Wakenya. Na hitaji moja nimesema, wabunge, ma-MCA, magavana na rais waongezee muhula kuanzia miaka 5 mpaka miaka 7. Kwa sababu gani? Tunapoteza mwaka mmoja kabla ya uchaguzi kufanya kampeni. Tunapoteza mwaka mmoja baada ya uchaguzi kufanya serikali, kuunda serikali, kuunda maofisi. hii mwaka kabla ya kampeni, kuna maafisa wengi wa serikali wanajiuzulu kwenda kupigania vita, hata katika sekta ya kibinafsi na sekta za serikali. Sasa inabaki miaka 5. Hii miaka 5 ndio sasa itatumika kufanya kazi katika taifa letu la Kenya, na si kila kitu ambayo wazungu wanafanya lazima tufanye. Hapa ukienda Kameruni miaka 7, ukienda hapa Rwanda miaka 7. Naona Wakenya wengi wanaenda hapa Rwanda, wanarudi wanasema Rwanda ni safi, Rwanda imepangika. Ni kwa sababu viongozi wakiingia kwa viti wanajua kazi yao ni kudeliver, si kazi yao kuingia kwa kiti kuanza kufanya kampeni kwa ile uchaguzi ambao unakuja. Na hii tunaona imeweza faulu katika sekta nyingine. Na ile term limit tutasema kwa rais na magavana ni ile 2 term. So itakuwa miaka 7 kwa governor na rais miaka 7 ikuwe miaka 14. Na ikiwa hii sheria itapita, tutaweka ile transitional clause ndio tuchunge pesa ya Wakenya. Tutaweka ile transitional clause ambayo turudi kwa uchaguzi, tunaanza upya. Sasa ikiwa mtu amekaa kwa ofisi miaka 3, tunaanza miaka 7 mpya, ndio ikuwe rahisi, ndio kukue na ile transitional clause. Ya mwisho ni tunaongeza 40% kutoka 15 kusiende katika katuzi zetu, ndio wananchi wapate pesa ya kutosha ya kufanya maendeleo mashinani, kama ni ECD, kama ni mambo ya dispensary, kama ni mabarabara. Hata saa hii tunapoongea kuna changamoto ya floods katika taifa letu la Kenya. Lakini ukiona miji kama Nairobi kwa mfano, na nimeona watu wengi wakimlaumu governor wa Nairobi Sakaja, hii shida ambayo tuko katika hii jiji ya Nairobi ilianza mwaka wa 1963. Hauwezi suluhisha saa hii vile watu wanamlaumu governor na serikali ya kaunti ya Nairobi, kwa sababu hata hakuna mafuriko Nairobi. Nashangaa watu wanasema iko mafuriko. Hakuna mafuriko. Ikoje? Na watu wamejenga kwa njia ya maji na rivers. There is no floods in Nairobi. What is happening is the water is reclaiming their path where they were. Ukiona hizi mahali inafurika ni kwa sababu ilikuwa njia ya maji. Hapa Kitengela na sehemu zingine ukiona historia ilikuwa njia ya maji. So there is no floods in Nairobi. What is happening is the rivers are reclaiming their space. Just what is happening across the country. And I want to say the only challenge I'm giving to county government of Nairobi and counties across the country is before giving building plans na approvals, tafadhali tuone kama hiyo ni riparian right ya maji. Kwa sababu kama hiyo ni riparian right ya maji, then hakutakuwa na sababu. Na mimi nataka niulize Wakenya ambao wananunua mashamba, enda nunua saa hii. Unajua hii mikora wanauza hii mashamba wakati hakuna mvua. Lakini ukitaka kununua shamba za enda nunua shai. Na unajua kuna watu wengi walikuwa wanataka serikali zibomoe hii manyumba iko riparian. Sasa wewe utachukua maji kotini, kwa sababu sasa imekuja kuchukua ile reclaim mashamba ambayo iko katika So I thank the government for intervention. In conclusion, na nataka niulize hizo interventions ambayo emergency fund ya 2% ya budget. Pia niulize Wakenya wakuwa waangalifu wakinunua mashamba. Tusinunue mashamba tu kwa sababu ya kununua. Chunguza kama kulikuwa na swamba hapo, toroka. Kama haikukuwa na swamba, nunua hapo. Usione ni bei rahisi ukafikiri unapendwa. Hapana, ikifika siku ile ya kiyama maji inyeshe kwa wingi, ndio utajua. Kwa sababu najua kuna Wakenya wengi wanaangamia. Najua kuna Wakenya zaidi ya 40 wamekufa kwa sababu ya hii mafuriko. While we condole with those Kenyans who have lost their lives, we must as a country make some painful and hard decisions that in future, before we issue building approval plans, before we issue land use, we must be very keen and be very honest. We must ensure we don't just issue for the sake of issue. Hakuna sababu ya kumlaumu governor Sakaja ama county government ama zile county ambazo ina experience. Let us blame the right thing. Water is just reclaiming their own path. Kwa sababu najua kutakuwa na mkutano mwingine mko naye. Asanteni sana. Leo hatutachukua maswali tutaulizwa tukifika mbinguni. Asanteni.